Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for Sunday, April 13th, 2025. The weekly candle closed about an hour and 27 minutes ago. But before we go over all of that, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and as a thank you, I will give you this cute little otter holding a cute little heart-shaped leaf. Ain't it cute? Thank you for your like and your subscribe. Without further ado, shall we get into the charts? All right, so you'll notice our weekly chart has a green engulfing candle. But wait. Before we start, let's go over the numbers. The open, the close, the low, and the high for the week that just closed. Well, we opened at $78,393. We closed at we got to a high of $86,060. We got to a low of $74,441, and we closed green at $83,710. Not bad. You'll notice that green candle has engulfed this the red candle body. Is that a bullish engulfing candle? Well, sort of. Yes, sort of no. Sort of yes, sort of no. The wick here makes it a not really. But because the candle body is engulfed, it's sort of a bullish engulfing candle. How bullish? Well, you know we're looking at that double bottom on the daily. Bottom, which could lead us back up to, here, 95, 96, maybe up here, 93, 94. But back to the weekly. We're still in this little bear flag within this bigger bull flag. Bouncing off that 618. Not really much has changed from last week, like big scale wise, like pattern wise. I will like to point out, though, that we are on the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which usually means, hey, we'll come up to the top of the Bollinger Bands. Now, I also want to point out, we're bouncing off that 50-weekly moving average, that 50-week moving average. Let's move these, just a wee bit more. Whoop, like that, and these ones can go a little more like that. There you go. And I do want to point out the 50 moving average on the weekly here, the weekly moving average, 50 week moving average. We're at it now. And this bull run has been kind of seen this 50 weekly moving average as the predecessor, or not the predecessor, but it predicates a bounce off that 50 moving average, predicates a move up to the upside. You saw it there, you saw it back here in September of 2023. We saw it here in September of 2024, and we're there again now in April of 2025. This is a different structure than we've seen in any of the other previous bull runs. Here in 2021, we did see a return to the 2021 and that mid-run pullback that we saw in that summer of 2021. That did and then even there during that run back up in September of 2021, bounce off that 50, and then a run happened. What about back here? You'll see in the previous bull runs did not really happen that way. It just really didn't happen that way. So this is something new. This is one of those things that kind of tells us that this run is a little bit different. What else makes this run different? We've breached all previous all-time high before the halving. It's like the whole run is left shifted. You'll see here, halving's here. We didn't breach until here, past the halving. Same deal here. Halving was here. We didn't breach the previous all-time high until past the halving. And then same deal here. We didn't breach previous all-time high until after the halving. But this time around, we breached all-time high before the halving. Created a new all-time high before the halving. And then we kind of saw highs a little earlier than we expected. So is this whole market just kind of left shifted? Possibly. But like, does that mean that this is the end? Well, maybe not. That doesn't tell us anything really, but it kind of tells me that like any predictions that I've made, I kind of should look at the earlier side of them. Now, I don't have it pulled up. I don't have it pulled up, but let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Nah. If you go to my post on Facebook and Twitter or X from September 19th or 21st, I believe there's a like image with some predictions, like a chart like this, and like some words written on it that have like some maths that I did that predicted like that the bull run here would end around October of 2025 through or up to October 26. However, if we're going to judge it by left leaning or left shifting the whole run, then we should look at October of 2025. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, that means that perhaps this bounce off this 50-week moving average here is going to entail another run up. How far up? Well, let's look at that bull run or bull flag. Let's look at the big one, 150. Hopefully 115 is the short target if we're playing it from this spot. We drew the flag from here, which we did, and then took that, and then we drew the flag from there and did this as well. So yeah, still got that little bear flag within the bull flag though. What would the target be? Let me see. Click, click. Uh-oh. Undo. Why can't I? What are you doing? Alright, I just gotta clone it. There we go. So drag it down. $59,000. So that would really be a signal that the bull run's over. Let's show you from the top of that little bear flag there. $68,000. Yeah. From the top, it would bring us down to that 786, right around $66,000. Still be a chance, not for higher highs, I think, at that point. At that point, our measured moves come up to, the smaller one comes up to there, but there'd still be a chance for higher highs from the weekly. But everything starts getting a little less likely because at that point, we'd be well under the 200 on the daily. Things would just not be looking good down there. How low could we get? How low could we get? 77% reversal from the top on the last cycle to the next bottom. 84 the last time and 86 that time. with 413 days, 364 days, 365 days. So let's say this is the top. Let's say where we were was the top. And we see, let's just say the same as last time. 77. I know we did this last week, but like, this is a... let's say 364 days. 76, almost 77. 25K. Could be the next bottom if this was the top. If, however, we do make it up to 150 in, like, let's say July, let's say October. Let's say October. Let's say we make it up there. 77 brings us down to about 31. Bring this up to 150. Let's bring it up to where it is. There you go. 139, 140. There you go. 31K. That'll be our next bottom if we do see another rally up to 150. 25 if this was the top in January. Watch for a bounce off of that 50 week moving average, because we've seen that predicate a big bounce before, or not a big bounce, but a big rally before. How long did it take after that bounce to get there? Let's just measure it with the ruler real quick. To the next peak there, took about 105 days, about 4 months. And to the next high was 182 months, 26 weeks. So about half a year, is about 6 months. So yeah, if we do see a bounce up and we do see some upwards movement, we can maybe expect those higher highs, but it could take anywhere from 3, 4 months to 6 months. What's 4 months from now? Well, let's count it together. Well, April's almost done, but we'll just say April, May, June, July. Midsummer, maybe August, September. So if we do see them up, that would correlate to the maths that I did back in September of last year. It said that the bull run would run on till, or would end at, or peak at October 2025 through October 26. That's the estimate. But yeah, I'm going to cut it here. We can look here real quick. I know this one's going a bit long, but we're falling out of the upward trending wedge here. We lost on the 90-minute chart. We lost that trend, that trend. 82, but we haven't lost the 200. We haven't lost 82. We did lose 85. So let's see if we can break back over 85 and continue this push up. Get back over the 200 on the 6 hour. That would be great. Would love to see that. We're not far from it. Stokes are looking good on the 90. Hopefully that can push the 6 hour Stokes back up. Looks like the RSI on the 6 hour wants to go up. We'll see if the RSI here on the 90 as well cooperates. Daily, pretty much the same. Don't like the overbought Stokes here though, and RSI teetering on bullish and bearish territory. It wants to be bullish. It's in bullish territory. It's over the signal line. Let's see if it can do it. If it can do this double bottom and pull out of this downward wedge. Hey man, likelihood's there. Question is, how high do we go? Is it a bull trap or what? How high do we go? Is it a bull trap or what? Right now we need to get over 88, that local resistance that we drew out. If we can't get over that, well, then we're just putting in another lower high, and downtrend continues. Ouch. And then we'll probably see another lower low from lower than where we've seen before, probably down to about 70, more likely down to about 68. But hopefully, smoking on that hopium, when we get past that 88 resistance, we get up over 90, get into the 90s. But if we get past 88, we got to get well into the 90s. 90, 92, that's our first stop. But we got to get into the mid-range 90s to really put in a new high from our March highs, way in the beginning of March. If we can do that, then yeah, possibly not just a bull trap, possibly an actual reversal. Sorry that these are going to look small if you're on a phone, but I just went over them real quick anyway. We'll get back to these tomorrow. Alrighty. Let's say goodbye, and thank you so much for watching. I know I went well over the time. Please just watch it at 2x if you're going to watch it. You're awesome. Much love. Yeah. Peace.